Hello, and welcome to a new episode of Noah's Ark Welding, where today we build a pizza oven. I've been on a pizza kick for the past 4 or 5 months now, and I've been using my electric oven in the house, and I've even gone as far as to line the whole bottom of the oven with fire brick in order to try to achieve a pizza that is close to being made right. But the problem is it still takes about 10 minutes to cook because the oven's only at 500 degrees, and you really need 800 degrees to cook a pizza correctly. I also want to build a wood-fired pizza oven because I like cooking with fire. Years ago I used to have a wood smoker, and I used to smoke all kinds of brisket and ribs and pulled pork and stuff. But I've been vegan for the past 2.5 years, and I've missed cooking with wood. And so I think a wood-fired pizza oven will satisfy my pyromania needs. So let's get started.
This is 2x2 angle, 1/4 inch wall. And I'm using a Lincoln 180 MIG welder, running wide open. These are 1/8 inch sheet plates that are 1 foot wide. Legs are 2x2 heavy wall square tubing.
I've gambled down in Washington, I've gambled down in Spain. I'm going down in Georgia to gamble my last game.
This is now the bottom of the stand, and I'm putting the rack on the bottom to hold the wood, and I decided to do a basket weave.
Alright, now that it's on the floor, this is all just trim at this point. I decided to cut, I had some leftover pieces of this stock, so I cut little tabs, and I clamped them in place here. I'm going to weld here, weld on the bottom, and when I grind that and put a rivet on it, it will look like it's folded over and riveted. This thing's going to get rivets all over it, and basically when it's done, it's going to look like it was riveted construction and not welded construction.
Technique for making a rivet dot with a MIG welder is you just do a big tack weld, make sure it's nice and round, and just build it up, and then you'll see me kind of pulse the trigger a little bit to make it stand up, and that way there's not a hole in the center of it. It's nice and domed like a rivet. Here I'm just laying some briquettes on top of a perlite base. I decided to do a perlite dome, try to keep things as light as possible, and I was running out of fire brick. This chimney is made out of leftover scrap from the pan for the frame. So it's about 2 weeks later, and I figured I'd show you the finished product. This is a brick perimeter that's 3 bricks high. Internally, I don't know if you can see it with the smoke, but I'll try to light it up in there. There is a fire brick floor, and then vertical fire brick walls in a circle. And then up in there is a perlite and refractory cement dome. The dome is a little shallower than I wanted. Didn't have enough stuff to put in there, and I ended up using some cardboard bags and stuff, some concrete bags to try to hold it up. And as I was pouring the dome, it sunk a little bit. So I just was in a hurry and not prepared. On the front, this is something metallurgically I added, is just some expanded metal. And if you look on the side, I just kind of tapered it off just to make it look a little fancy. This is the peaked roof. I figured just a peak would be a little bit better at shedding rain, keeping moisture out of the brick, and also it makes the overall product quite a bit lighter. This is a perlite underneath here and then stucco on top, but if it had been domed out round, it would be even thicker. This thing is already very, very heavy. For perimeter, I've got a chimney up top, and then again to save on weight, I made a metal chimney to get it further up out of our eyes. It didn't draw very good without that on it. And then in another video,
which you'll see soon, I made a peel. This actually used to be a stainless steel hibachi like griddle that you put on top of a gas stove. Since we moved here, I have electric stoves, so there's no use for this. So I cut it down with an angle grinder and then forged the handle, riveted it on, and should work pretty good for a peel. And this is my, haven't seen anything like this, but this is a poker, basically a fireplace poker, but then I've got a scoop on it. And this thing is great for pulling ashes. When I cleaned this thing out this morning, I can manipulate ashes and hot coals. It works very, very well. I'm very happy with that. Alright, I'm going to go and scoot the fire over and clean it and get ready to make a pizza. Alrighty, we'll make our first pizzas. I buy this is sour pizza dough, or sourdough pizza dough. I have a friend who makes sourdough bread. My wife is a celiac, and so she can't have gluten, but she can't have sourdough, and so we eat a lot of sourdough. And I think sourdough pizza, sourdough anything is better than not sourdough. But it is a little wet, so I have to dry it out with some flour. I'm using brown rice flour here because I don't want to cause a gluten allergy.
Oh, hitch up your horses and feed them some hay and seat yourself by me as long as you stay.
Using the cornmeal to lubricate the bottom of the pizza so it will slide off the peel and into the oven. And that is Prego sauce, but I do put a lot of garlic and various herbs in there to doctor it up. So far, it's the best pizza sauce I've come up with. And this stuff is amazing. This is cashew mozzarella, and it is divine. We're doing a margarita pizza, by the way. I've already pushed the fire to the side. I've taken a mop and put it around my peel and wiped out the floor.
Come you ladies and gentlemen, listen to the song. Sing it to you right, but you might think it's wrong. May make you mad, but I mean no harm. It's just about to run his own penny's farm. It's a hard times in
But
the
any
country.
celiacs out there who haven't tried eating sourdough, they really should, because sourdough is a lot tastier than anything gluten-free.
A little crop of bagger and a little crop of corn. Come around and see you gonna flip and flot till you get yourself a mortgage on everything you got. It's a hard times in the country out on Tennis Farm. Hadn't George Penny got a flattering mouth? Move you to the country in a little log house. Got no windows, put the cracks in the wall. He'll work you all summer and rob you in the fall. It's the hard times in the country out on Penny's Farm.
It's the first margarita pizza I'd ever made, and by far one of the best pizzas I'd ever had. It turned out amazing. Alright, this next pizza is going to be based on leftovers. I made a stuffed zucchini and a maple pecan Brussels sprouts for dinner last night, and I think it's going to be really good on pizza. Pizza is great, refrigerator Velcro.
Got to have his money or somebody's check. Pay him for a bushel and you don't get a peck. It's a hard times in the country out on Penny's Farm.
Some more vegan cheese on there. I screwed up and made that one in the pan, and it was hard to get up onto the peel, but I was able to get it out of the pan.
out on Penny's farm. Down in his pocket with a trembling hand, can't pay you all, but I'll pay you what I can. Then to the telephone, the merchant make a call. He'll put you on chain gang, don't pay it all. It's hard times in the country, out on Penny's farm.
Charred it just a little bit on that one side, but it was still really good. This was the cameraman's favorite pizza.
We'll make a potato pizza.
This pizza turned out really good, but I should have microwaved the potato for just a little bit before I sliced it and put it on there, because when the pizza was done, the potatoes turned out to be just a little bit on the crunchy side. I remade this pizza a week later, and it turned out much, much better. That's vegan sour cream on there, by the way, and lots of herbs. Dressed it with a little olive oil, garlic, and that's Beyond Breakfast Sausage, the spicy breakfast sausage. It is amazing on pizza.
Looks good. I think potatoes are done. I've certainly done enough today. Of course, you can eat it.
Alrighty, thanks for watching. See you next time on Noah's Ark Welding.